with this whole patch, with how things have been recently, that was my official statement to the dev team. According to Melissa, she is literally passing what I said off to the Save the World dev team in particular, meaning that she is going to send them my exact response to what I've been talking about, my main criticisms about the game. She said that she will send them to the dev team themselves. Alright everyone, here we go with round 2 and a little bit of deja vu. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically I'm referencing my video on the Share the Love event, which is 100% absent for Fortnite Save the World. It was a little bit of a popular video, something I thought was going to be quite controversial, which ended up turning into a voice for the community as we all spoke to Epic Games on our thoughts about being completely ignored for a Valentine's event, which was called Share the Love. Today, I'm back on very unfortunate circumstances because there was a patch, an update called 7.40, which had completely broken pretty much everything in Fortnite Save the World. So, I don't even know where to start, dude. I really don't. At the end of this video, towards the end, as I get on with my commentary, I do have some good news to share with you guys regarding this whole ordeal. And I don't know if it's going to be really good news, but we'll see as time goes on. I definitely wanted to point that out because in this video, not everything is negative, but also I'm not really going to hold back on what I'm going to say as well. So yeah, I'm sorry if I come across as toxic in this video, but I'm just speaking my mind. So yeah, let's talk about patch 7.40. So if you don't know what patch 7.40 is, it is essentially the update that came out like 1 or 2 days ago that has broken and twisted and made everything very confusing in Fortnite Save the World. There's a lot of stuff going on that we really weren't expecting. This patch was initially delayed, and on Twitter there was actually an Epic Games employee. I'm not sure if he was a Battle Royale employee or a Save the World employee, but he actually got a little bit of criticism on Twitter because people were mad that the patch got delayed. A lot of people were excited for it, and he ended up saying, don't worry, we even have a lot of bug fixes coming in this patch, so trust me, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth the time. Now, I apologize that I can't cite the source. I really wish I could, but I just thought that it was ironic that I saw that on my timeline the other day. Because for Save the World, it was the exact opposite of what he was talking about. We got a patch note with a lot of bug fixes, some of which weren't even fixed, but we also got an insane amount of new bugs added to the game, some of which were game breaking. So let's talk about that, As far as Battle Royale was concerned, reception was fantastic. People in the Battle Royale camp were very happy with the patch. We're literally praising Epic because they made a lot of changes because of the recent Apex Legends game that has been on the rise. In the Save the World camp, on the other hand, we were going into a mental breakdown state at the sense of how could this even be possible with the dev team that we got? How did this even happen? So let me go over some of the things that happened in patch 7.40 as you might not have experienced all of them. The number one issue actually had to do with one of the biggest parts of the patch notes. The main part of the patch notes was the Yeoman Sniper Rifle and the Frostnite Challenge. If you guys were around for the first few hours of the update, you would know that if you completed the Frostnite Challenge, your game was completely bricked, which means that you weren't even able to play anymore. You got stuck on a reward screen and you were never even given your rewards, but after you completed the Frostnite Challenge, you were essentially not able to play the game whatsoever. Now, they ended up instating a hotfix for this issue and allowed people to play and get the rewards, but the fact that that even existed baffled me. It wasn't even an uncommon occurrence as it happened to most everybody that did the challenge, which I thought was interesting. There was also something that could have been prevented within 5 minutes of playtesting. And there's actually a lot of things on here that could have been prevented if literally 5 minutes were allocated to playtesting. Number one, which is the biggest one, is that every single ability in the game had its keybinds changed for no reason. This basically means that if you had Shockwave, frag grenades, Shock Tower, Teddy, any ability on any character was completely whoop-de-whopped and changed around for no reason, unannounced. Now, for PC players, this might not have been the biggest of deal, and for me, it really hasn't, but for console players, you were probably bashing your head into your desk at the frustration, and I can 100% understand. There's also a problem with the typewriter, that the typewriter actually got changed into a weapon that looks like it's part of an entire unreleased weapon set that has nothing to do with the game as of yet. I just thought that was interesting that an Epic Game developer decided to leave that behind and completely didn't notice it. There was also a bug in the patch notes that said that it was fixed, but 5 minutes worth of playtesting would have shown you that it wasn't. If you play on PC and you open your trap wheel and you try to select a trap by clicking on it, they said that the issue was that it previously was not allowing you to select your traps, but now you can. You still can't. It is still a problem. Why would you put it in the patch notes if you haven't even tested your game to find out that it doesn't even work? And I'm not exaggerating. The first game that I got on Save the World, I was so excited for this change, I opened up my trap menu, attempted to place a floor launcher, and literally could not within the first 2 seconds of being in the mission. There's also neon llamas, which I kind of want to talk about. Now, a lot of people think that this was done on purpose, but I definitely do not think that this was done on purpose, and I'll tell you why. So neon llamas came back to the shop yesterday, unannounced. Nobody said anything about them, they just happened. Neon llamas, keep in mind, were from about a year ago during the cyber event for Fortnite Save the World, and they randomly showed up in the shop for $5 a pop. Not for event tickets, not that you could earn them whatsoever. No. You had to spend 500 V-Bucks to get these, and they were limited by 5, and they were an X-ray llama. People thought that this was actually done on purpose, but it was not. Even to this day, no Epic Games employee has even commented on the fact that a years-old event llama came back completely unannounced for no reason for $5 each. Just randomly. It just happened randomly. That is just the cherry on top of the cake in terms of how broken this patch was, that an event item, an event llama that's from over a year old just happens to just randomly show up in the shop for $5. No event llama has ever costed V-Bucks, at least in recent times. Ever. Just ever. I can't even think of a time that event llamas costed V-Bucks, but this time they costed $5 each, just randomly and completely unannounced. So that's a basic rundown of the bugs in this patch. There's also a lot more than just the ones that I mentioned, but essentially we had a game-breaking bug that would prevent you from playing. Every single ability in the game was completely switched around. The typewriter skin got turned into something that we've never seen before. The trap wheel is still broken, although being said that it was fixed, and neon llamas, which are from an event that's over a year old, came back for no reason whatsoever. Those are just 5. I could go on Reddit and I could go to the mega thread talking about bugs and I could pull another 20 if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I just want to make this video and I just want to ask Epic Games, why? Where is your bug testers? Where is your development team? Do you have enough resources whatsoever to even continue development on Save the World? I'm just curious as to how this update even happened. Most of these things could have been prevented through basic playtesting. The Fortnite challenge, which is 30 minutes long, this was not an uncommon occurrence whatsoever. I guarantee if you playtested it in your development environment, you would have had problems with it. Your typewriter skin being a completely different weapon for no reason, you probably could have found it within 5 minutes of just looking around. As far as your abilities being switched across all platforms, you probably could have found that out in the first 2 seconds of loading your game. Neon llamas showing up in the event shop completely unannounced, I have no idea how that even happened. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a little bit more of a positive thing because people were able to get things that they wanted, but it was still not even done on purpose, and that just shows the amateur nature of the team that is working on this game. So my questions are, do you have a playtesting team? How big is your development team? What is going on inside your head when it comes to creating updates for this game? Like, are we a joke to you? Are we a genuine joke to the fact that you can't even playtest your game for 5 minutes? So much of this was preventable, and it just broke the entire game. The entire community was in uproar and had no idea what was going on for the entire day. People now still tweet me about the typewriter and about their abilities being switched. Why? Why? How could that have happened? It baffles me. It really does that that's even a thing. I got some tweets and I got some news that can maybe shed a positive light on this entire situation. And I want to go over them right now. So let's go over these string of tweets really quick. So I tweeted out on the 14th, which was, I believe, the day that the patch came out. I said, expect a video of me completely tearing into Epic Games today yet again. This patch has broken more things than I can count on both my hands, and I'm sick and tired of it. There's another tweet that said, going to be doing a news video today, then releasing this one tomorrow as I can put more thought into it. You're an honest embarrassment to your entire community, and I added Epic Games, Mark, and Melissa, for how you handle Save the World, and I'm beyond disappointed in you. And then I followed up by saying, by the way, I'm pretty sure Melissa has nothing to do with Save the World, but would absolutely love her comment on the situation as she tends to ignore me. Well, then Melissa responded, finally. This was not my first time tweeting Melissa as well. I've actually tweeted her at least one or two other times where my tweets have gotten a lot more attention than these. And I know for a fact that she was getting a lot of notifications for them, but this is actually the first time that Melissa has ever actually talked to me. She says I don't intentionally ignore anyone, Joe, and gave me a little cat gif, hello there. I responded and I said, now that's what I like to hear. I know I come off as a huge asshat, but I would like that you please DM me so that I may ask you some questions regarding Fortnite. I'm a very avid player and create content daily for the community and only want what's best for everybody. So then Melissa sent me a waving hand in my DMs and I responded with the following. This is going to be a lot of reading, so try to pay attention, try not to fall asleep. And this is basically essentially my official statement to the Save the World development team after this patch released. I said, even though I come off as a complete asshole, it really does mean a lot that you'd actually take time to message me. I just wanted to be known that anything negative I've said has come from my own personal care about the future of the game and where it's heading. To be quite real with you, I've just been wanting to ask a few questions. I've been so extremely frustrated with how things have panned out for the Save the World side of Fortnite, and it just seems to me that the team working on Save the World is not even close to having the proper allocated resources to consistently maintain improvements for the game. After today's patch in particular, there were issues that only 5 minutes worth of playtesting could have unveiled to the team before launching the update. One of which was that every single ability button layout had been changed across all heroes in the entire game, leading to frustration and confusion. Another one comes in the form of the weapon typewriter having a skin for what I believe to be a part of an Update 8.0 weapon set, which I'd imagine was entirely unintentional. Lastly, one main focus of the update, the new Fortnite challenge, was bricking people's games upon completion, and that was not an uncommon occurrence either. Everything I listed is only a fraction of the problems that came in this patch that could have been easily prevented. Hell, the entirety of the patch was delayed to go on top of that. People think, well, I'd rather give the devs some extra time rather than get a broken mess, and what we got today was beyond a broken mess. Even a little over an hour ago, the neon event llamas from last year's event of Save the World have just appeared in the item shop for $5 a pop, which they were already 2 other event llamas in the shop. I know that could not be intentional whatsoever. I have been extremely critical as of recent because I want Save the World to succeed, as I and every single damn person in the community knows its true potential. I bitch about the game because I truly care about its longevity and its path to being an excellent PvE experience for anyone that plays it when/if it reaches free to play. I just want a response from an Epic Games developer on the situation. I want to know your thoughts on everything I read. I want to know just how many people are developing for Save the World and if the mode is even being taken seriously at this point. I'm really sorry for the essay, but I want what's best for the game. This game has provided me the chance to chase my dream job. It's provided me the ability to build an amazing community I can talk and interact with on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Discord. And lastly, it's provided me with easily over 1,000 hours of pure fun and enjoyment. I just need clarification on the future of the game and just want to know that it will be handled better than it's being handled currently. Even the most hardcore player base is finding it hard to stick around due to the lack of transparency, the abundance of bugs, and the general lack of proper communication within the community. If you read this far and care to respond, then I truly thank you for that, and I want you to know that it does mean a lot to me. Joey. Melissa responded and said, "Have you talked to Magist about this? I'm not on the Save the World team, but I can assure you they get this note from you. If I hear anything back for you, I'll report back. And I know that passion stems from love even when you're frustrated." I said, "To my knowledge, Magist isn't very active on Twitter, but I suppose I could copy and paste the message to his Reddit. The reason I ever included you in my tweets was because I know how active you are on Twitter with the community, and I'm honestly desperate for any communication with the dev team." That was my statement to Melissa about the recent happenings within Save the World. With this whole patch, with how things have been recently, that was my official statement to the dev team. According to Melissa, she is literally passing what I said off to the Save the World dev team in particular, meaning that she is going to send them my exact response to what I've been talking about, my main criticisms about the game. She said that she will send them to the dev team themselves. Now, to ensure that the dev team even has a chance of hearing what I said, I messaged Magist privately on Reddit. I basically sent him the exact same thing in his private messages, and currently I am just awaiting a response. Currently it's the weekend. I'm sure that nobody at Epic is working, but I did do that. I sent them my entire response. I sent that to Magist. He, of course, is the community manager for Save the World, the Save the World dev team, and Melissa is basically just the Twitter Epic Games employee. She settles things with pretty much any creator as far as support a creator goes, or any questions that people have. That's basically what Melissa's job is. So she told me that she was going to send it off to Epic Games, to the Save the World dev team, and they would actually, hopefully, get back to me. Now that's mainly the good news that I have for this video. But I'm still extremely disappointed. And everything I said in that message, I mean 100%. This patch was the most broken piece of garbage that we've ever gotten. Ever. I swear, I cannot think of a time that we got a patch that was worse than this. And it inspired me so much. It had me questioning Save the World and the development team. It had me so concerned that I sent Melissa that long essay. You know, I was very happy that she responded. I sent her that essay, and apparently it's going to be going to the Save the World team soon, and we may hear a response back. If we don't hear a response back, I'm honestly going to be very upset, and I may be making a second video for that. I feel like, as a content creator for their game, you know, somebody that should be able to speak for the community, you know, I imagine that I have a pretty good grasp on what everybody wants. I should be able to communicate with the dev team. Especially with how small of a community we are, I feel like communication should not be a problem between us and the dev team. And if there's any way that I can get in communication with them, and that I can talk with them, and that they can hear my feedback, then that would be fantastic news. With this patch, things have been absolutely terrible. They've been absolute garbage. But hopefully that piece of news can make things a little bit better. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. In this video, I basically wanted to talk about how Epic Games completely dropped the ball on this newest patch and all the garbage that they've introduced into the game, which could have been easily preventable. So many things are wrong at Epic Games, especially whatever they're doing with the Save the World dev team. And hopefully, everything that's gone on recently and the message that I sent to Melissa to be sent to the dev team and to Magist as well, hopefully can be a wake-up call and maybe make things better for the future. But guys, that's it for me. I want to hear your opinions down in the comments down below. And if you made it to this point in the video, I thank you so much for listening to what I had to say. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.